one side. Facebook, you can see all these comments popping up. I hide my hands. I didn't paint them. Well, I kind of painted like part of it, but then I got tired. And I was like, no.
You painted your hands. I was almost not going to wear gloves, but then I saw Jared has his gloves on. I'm like, oh, I better step it up.
This part of my face and my neck and part of my chest, because sometimes I lean over, you can see it, like took an hour and a half. I really didn't want to spend another 30 minutes painting my hands because fingers are, they just take a long time.
And you're just going to sit there, like, you know?
Yeah. Well, pretty much one of the main reasons why I'm not wearing heels.
So I only have alcohol paint. So guys, I always work with alcohol paint, which means it always takes me an hour and a half to get it on and an hour and a half to take it off. And for our little Star Wars thing going on, I'm doing Feral Oprah's female right now. So, but after this, I'm going to put on more Jedi stuff and maybe go crazy on TikTok.
Okay.
Nice.
Hello, I'm Killian.
We're on Facebook already, right? Hiya.
Yes.
So let's try it again. Anyway, hello everyone on Facebook.
Hi.
Sorry that we are. All right, well, that's fine.
Hi, Ashley.
All our big fans are on Facebook anyway. That way I can just focus on okay, anyway. Hi, guys.
Hi, everyone.
Hello.
I'm so hungry. Is anyone else hungry?
I'm getting there.
I should have had a snack for today's stream.
When did I eat last?
Probably yesterday.
No, I think I know I ate today.
Like knowing Sam, it's probably yesterday.
Probably.
Okay.
So
So
we're gonna start. We're talking about Rule 63 cosplay, gender bending crossplay, and cosplay in general. And we have with us the expert of these matters, Hagard Cosplay.
I wouldn't say I'm an expert, but I thank you for that.
Well, go ahead and do your.
I feel like you have the best ones.
Yeah, tell the viewers all about you.
Okay, so Phoenix, Arizona, born and raised, pretty much been here all my life. I've been cosplaying ever since, even before cosplay was actually a thing. Actually, I think it was like 2010.
Oh no, don't even. I've been cosplaying like 9 years before that.
Oh yeah, but
before it became big.
Before it became big, I would go to the convent, like when Phoenix Comic Con was still in the Mesa, the hotel. The center, the hotel. Mm-hmm. And my very first cosplay was Silent Bob, because I mean, look at me, I look like Kevin Smith already.
You look like Hannah Song to me.
Yeah, but I would go to this, I went to this convention just because I had a couple of friends that were going. They invited me, and then I started seeing like more and more people, dressing up and doing all these awesome cosplays, and I'm like, okay, this is going to be fun. This is going to be awesome. And I kind of went out of the whole cosplay scene for a while, and I came back because of a couple more friends that just kept kind of jumping into my life, and just kind of wanting to dress up and have fun. So fast forward to about 3-4 years ago, when I actually started taking it a little bit more seriously and started just making more costumes and having more fun at these conventions. And here I am today, sitting in a nice little diva dress, and met you awesome friends because of cosplay. And it's just such an awesome community that, I don't think I would be where I am today without the awesome friends that I made in this community.
Yeah, that's actually because we met with this costume, because I think I posted it on Bra, and then you were like, "Hey, I have one too. Let's meet up." Like, okay, and then that whole thing happened, and I think
you guys posted a Game On Expo. Isn't that where we all met together? Because you both took
yes.
That's where. And like, oh my gosh, I must find this photo.
And I thought you were gonna make an Academy Diva too.
It's still in the works.
Okay. Let me know when you're done. We'll meet up again.
Where's the photo?
Yeah. So awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us for this conversation. And Sam, on to you.
What?
Intro. We have to do an intro. I know. And probably people that know us are watching, but let's make it a habit to do an intro.
I am Sam of ThermoCosplay, and I'm hunting on Facebook to find a picture of Hagrid Hagrid as Black Cat Diva and all of us together because it's fun. And you guys know me, and I'm sad. Wait, Feral Oprah's today because why not? Gender been some of my favorite aliens from Star Wars.
How long did that take you?
An hour and a half.
Oh, that's right. We were talking about it. That's a long time. I was like, I need to hurry up. I had a work stream before this. So I was like, I didn't have my camera on. So I was like in half costume. I was like, I hope they don't ask me to turn my camera on because I'm not going to. So I had to get ready really quick. So, well, anyway, while Sam looks for that. Hi, guys. My name is Jinx Cosplay. I've been cosplaying since 2001. Oh, there we are. We're so
There we
cute.
are. Yes.
I love it so
much. One of the best Kratoses I've ever seen.
Yeah, your Kratos is awesome.
I'm working on it. I'm working on bringing it back to life. I just
especially because you have the undercut, but you don't have that anymore. Do you have one right now?
My hair is stupid long right now.
Oh, is it? I don't think I've seen your. I think every time we stream, I have not seen your real hair. But so yeah, so I've been cosplaying since 2001. I'm kind of in the same boat as Jared was. Kind of like I started it. It was really casual. Obviously, in 2001, it was not nearly anything it was, and I took some time. Really casual, took a break for a couple years, and then around 2014 I started up again, and that's kind of when I took it a lot more seriously. I was living overseas, and I met Sam actually while I was living overseas because it's my hometown, and then came back home and then met all sorts of cool cosplay people, and here we are today. Welcome. Thanks for coming to our stream.
Yep. So we are talking again, like I said, about Real 63 cosplay, and for some people that means taking a character that is one gender or many genders and switching them in some way, or maybe it means that person becoming that gender, or maybe it means a lot of things. It means altering the character in some way around their gender, specifically, whatever that might be. So what was the very first Real 63 costume that you did?
Actually, this is kind of it. The kind of story behind doing the Black Cat Diva was I actually was scrolling online for just cosplays, just cosplay ideas in general, and I happened upon a picture that somebody did of all the Overwatch characters in Black Cat Diva skin.
Hi, really?
Yeah.
Oh my god, I have never seen that.
Saw Roadhog, and I was like, oh my god, I need to do this. Because, this is something probably nobody's ever really done as a cosplay before. So I actually talked to my girlfriend at the time, and I'm still with her, Sunshine. She actually helped me make the dress pretty much completely from scratch. And I had another friend actually help me make the Roadhog mask. And this thing, it was heavy as hell. I could only keep it on for like maybe 2 minutes at a time.
What was it made out of?
It was actually a resin mask.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was very, very heavy, but it actually had. I tried to find it for this, and it's actually I'm pretty sure it's in my storage unit. But I went around Phoenix Comic Con. I think it was 2018 with that costume on, and it got so much attention because nobody had ever seen this mashup.
Mm-hmm.
And because of the mashup, I kept the dress, and I think at Saboten same year, I wore the exact same outfit except with a Reaper mask. And then at Game On Expo, I just went full out Black Cat Diva, and people were calling it Bearded Diva, which nice. I fell in love with, which was awesome. And that's kind of where it kind of culminated, was just a completely random character to being in a completely comfortable dress and a completely comfortable cosplay for once. And
how does it feel being wearing a dress? What dresses are far better than people make them out to be, aren't they?
Oh yeah. Honestly, you're talking to a guy who wears kilts, so it's very, it's very similar, if not the exact same thing. Yeah. It's the freedom. It can be cumbersome, especially when you're trying to use the bathroom, but
kilts
Oh well,
or dresses in general.
Dresses in general, if they're puffier. I actually had to
I guess
take
for
some
you
pointers.
guys, like
Yeah, because
for women, it's like pick it up, sit down.
Yeah, for us it's like, okay, let's let me pile on the dress where
you know the little wedding things where it's like a skirt under a skirt and you pull it up and then you use a drawstring to cinch it at your waist and it just stays up there.
But the problem is like you wouldn't want to be using a urinal with that. You probably want to go into the stall.
yeah. I mean, there was a couple of times where there was a guy that walked in and I'm standing at the urinal and he's like, "Whoa, hold on, sorry, wait a minute."
He's like, "Never mind."
Yeah. But yeah, so yeah, pretty much the diva, I call it the diva line, was pretty much my first foray into Rule 63. One of my other favorite ones that actually I wore for work not too long ago for a video conference was actually Misty from Pokemon.
Oh yeah.
And it's one of my favorite ones too, because it's pretty comfortable. And actually, talking with Amber Skies, she has a Misty cosplay that she's done, and
nice.
there it is. And I actually have my Togepi. I actually got that at Saboten.
So cute.
But I actually want to do a photo shoot with Misty, and because Amber Skies, she actually has this one pose where she's coming out of the pool, and I kind of want to do that. Kind of mimic that photo.
Nice.
So yeah, and actually there's another one in there. Actually, in my Mersula, in my male Ursula, it's actually the very top. Top photo.
Oh, cool.
Mm-hmm. So that was my first cross play, my first gender swap cosplay, and kind of making it a little bit different. Made those tentacles completely from scratch, and they actually have actual suction cups on it.
Nice, that's so cool.
Which was very fun at con, because I kept accidentally grabbing onto the people and things while
all sorts
walking
of
down the aisles.
Like latex costumes. Like, whoops, I did not mean that. Sorry.
But yeah, I mean, I haven't done too many. I'm actually planning a couple more. I mean, I'm starting to get a little bit more into the Disney side of things. I'm actually going to be making a Maleficent.
Oh, cool!
Coming up pretty soon.
Yeah, I know Disney's like a franchise that everybody loves to gender bend and crossplay and like Rule 63 everything. Just want to say hi to a couple people. I know Sam, you commented there. Hi, Catherine. Hi, Steve. Hi, guys. Ashley. I didn't get to say hi to you guys earlier. So when we talk about, so we've kind of thrown out a couple different terms there. Crossplay. Let's start with crossplay. And I don't know if this is really, I've heard that this term is kind of now controversial.
I think that's just because, if you think about cross-dressers, kind of a negative connotation for individuals. So I think that's why crossplay is negative here in the US, but outside, internationally, it's pretty standard. So it really depends regionally and where you are.
But that's funny because, like I said, like 10 years ago, crossplay, there was no problem with this word. But now it seems like recently that it kind of is. But anyway, to get away from that topic, crossplay is essentially when you are, one gender or sex, I know, and you cosplay a completely different one. So if you're a woman, you've got boobs, then you're going to strap them down. You're going to, kind of go for the contouring.
Or sticking up your waists, or
Yes, you want to completely change your look to be as accurate as that character is, whatever their gender or sex is. And then gender bend is different, where like you are one character and you keep your your gender, and then you change it to adjust to that gender. So there's a lot of different things, and I mean, Rule 63 kind of has a bunch of different things, a bunch of different rules. Not even really rules.
It kind of encompasses all changes to a character that are associated with any kind of gender or sex or any form of binary, whatever you want to call it. That's kind of what that's where they're like, here's Rule 63 there. That way,
whatever you are not, or you want to be something different or something. So it can encompass a lot of things. Like, we didn't really have a lot of gender bending cosplays, like way back when. So when it started like becoming a trend, it's like, whoa, there's like this whole new door that's open, and we can do so many more things. I mean, it's not like it wasn't a thing back then. It just, I don't know, cosplay was such a baby. but back then. But now there's like, you can do everything. And I love seeing what people do, especially with the gender bends. Wow. Seen some really creative gender bends. And that happens a lot in Disney too. Obviously you have a lot of like princess and prince swaps, and, you know, like obviously a lot of the main characters are women. So of course, the male fans kind of get shafted. And so I love to see all those, you know, gender bend characters. And yeah. It's one of my favorite things about it. So seeing all that creativity.
One of the things, actually, one of the terms that I started using when it comes to, especially when it comes to Rule 63, is cosplay fluidity. Just like gender fluidity, it can be either male or female, you know, not even really depending on the gender identity of whoever's wearing it, but how you want to present it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of
that.
Yeah.
Well,
I feel like, go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying, and then that's kind of a term that I've always used to just kind of explain it to people. It's cosplay fluidity. It can be whatever you want it to be.
And that's kind of in general, really, because I mean, if you even look at cosplay is just another form, an art form, you know, way to express yourselves. And with any art form, you know, people can take it in any direction that they want, however they want to express themselves or feel comfortable. So I've never heard that term, cosplay fluidity. I like that. And obviously that can be with anything, like you said, not just gender.
I give another shout out to Hi Maggie, because she said hi to all of us. And she said, hi. Just so you guys know, she says you all look amazing.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much, guys. Yeah. So, so I tend to really just, I love female characters. I just love girly things. So I do a lot more like gender bends. I don't think I've ever done like a pure crossplay. No, I've done a couple of gender bends. And I just, you know, I think it's fun that way, just to be able to pick and choose what you want. And I know someone who does, almost always does crossplays and not even gender bends, but like straight crossplays. And she does amazing. It's, Morgan does a lot of male characters and she looks so good. Like she has that kind of like Bishonen face. So very Bishu. So yeah, I think it's cool when people can do that too. It's like another level of art where you just look like someone completely different, which is what cosplay is all about. So,
yeah. Well, and one of the big things too, I think kind of also encompasses cosplay fluidity. Actually, I was talking with Sam before we were going on air. There's actually a character that I've always wanted to play, and I've never really gotten the grasp of. Go ahead and do it. And actually, I have a prop here. If you can see Dr. Facilier hat.
Ah, cool.
Yes. You know, and this is also one of the things that I kind of believe too. It's, you know, not just crossing gender lines, but also crossing ethnicity lines. Mm-hmm. Because, you know, there's a lot of people, and actually this past February there was a big movement on Instagram that was, you know, people of African American descent actually doing all characters, and it was so beautiful. And it was just so awesome. And there was cross-playing in there as well. There was gender bending in there. And, you know, it's kind of one of those things where, you know, yeah, you do have to be careful when you do toe the line, but kind of making something your own and kind of believing that you're able to and putting your own spin on things, you know, to be able to just bring forward a character that you love and enjoy playing.
Yeah, and that's kind of another subject we can always talk about. You know, and coming from a person of color, so most anime characters are Japanese, but of course, you know, they're white, like, you know, they're like, that's what the Japanese, like the big eyes and the light skin, and that's kind of what they were going for. So when I used to cosplay a long time ago, and I won't delve too much on this, I felt very restricted, and I felt like I had to only cosplay who I looked like. So I did a lot of Asian characters, which didn't leave me much to do with. But nowadays, obviously, you can do, Diva's Korean, so I guess I'm not that far off right now. But I mean, I've done Widowmaker. So Widowmaker, she's, you know, a tall French woman. I've done a lot of, you know, non-Asian characters, and it's great. I think everybody should do it. If you want to, if you love a character, regardless of their ethnicity, you should do it. The only rule that I ask, and I think everybody does, is do not change your skin color. I think that's, I mean, unless it's like an alien. I mean, aliens, come on.
That's aliens. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, in terms of, you know, a real, you know, ethnic skin color, like that's the only rule that I ask is followed, and I think everyone else can enjoy it if that's followed. You know, because I hear a lot about like, oh, I want to be, because I'm Moana, right? I do a lot of Moana, and I hear a lot of girls like, oh, I love Moana, but you know, I can't. I'm like, just do it. just do it, you know? You cosplay a character because you love that character. There's a lot of reasons why people cosplay characters, but one of them is because you love them so much. And that shouldn't stop you from cosplaying the people that you love.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, and I kind of also think too, you know, one of the big things that I personally have had an issue with, and I know, you know, anybody has probably had this thought of body image. I'm a big guy. I'm you know, pushing 300, but I'm not a muscular guy. I got some rolls. But being able to portray a character that is powerful, that is that makes you happy, that completely can defeat that self-image, that selflessness when it comes to cosplay, I'm all for it. That's actually one of the reasons why I'm also doing Gaston. I'm not a big beefcake, but I want to be Gaston too, because he has that, you know, that moniker about him that can be, you know, very, very boisterous and add the character to him that can actually help your self outlook.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess they kind of really go hand in hand, like gender bending and like Rule 63, and then of course like cosplaying out of your body type, as you say. I mean, there's no rule. Like other people may see that, but it's whatever you want to do. Again, but yeah, that's kind of, we probably should have made it a broader subject because it all kind of rolls into a lot of the same things of like stepping out of what you think you're perceived as or your physical, you know, limitations. But yeah. Oh, look at Sam. She's so beautiful.
So this character I brought up for a reason, because this character is from the Arcana game on a mobile, it's a mobile game, and it's recognizes as male, but it's kind of, you're not sure. He's very androgynous and clearly Mediterranean of some kind, darker skin, lighter hair, but I loved the character so much that I was like, I don't care. I love you. And I actually got an award, a judge's award at TaiYuCon from a cosplayer of color for saying, and she's like, first of all, this costume's gorgeous, but second of all, thank you for not changing your hair or your skin or anything to just be like this character.
And that's what it's all about.
And, you know, it used to be a lot harder like 10 years ago or even before that. There were so many critics. Of course, everyone hides behind their keyboard. And that's kind of where it gets difficult as a cosplayer, as yourself. Like, you need to understand that. And I'm not saying that, like, don't do it because trolls will come out. Trolls will always come out, you know. So you just need to prepare yourself for what might happen. And remember that you're doing it for you, not for that person.
Exactly.
Like if you want to, you know, do this or that or cosplay whoever, like you do that because you want to.
We just got a question asking if I'd done a crossplay. I consider Thane Krios a crossplay for me because
I would too, yeah.
I wouldn't say it's really gender bend. I flattened down my breast. I did as much as I possibly could about my hips. I have a lot of butt, guys. There's not much hiding it. But in general, people who came up to me didn't know if I was male or female. So I consider that a pretty successsul crossplay.
You also were wearing like a full mask.
Well, I sculpted it. So yeah, I was good.
Are you sharing an image?
Can you not see it?
No.
No, it's not popping up.
There we go.
There we go.
Sorry, I had hidden the window. Oops.
And I feel like, obviously there's things that you can't help with your body, you know, as far as like, you know, going to surgery. Don't do surgery for cosplay. I mean, if you do, that's your choice. But I think that because you followed it pretty accurately, you know, I would say that's a successful cosplay. Yeah,
and how you feel and how you look in a costume. If you feel like there's a character that you don't like, you really like the character, but you feel like physically you will not look good in it. It's okay. You don't have to do it. You can enjoy that character, or you can modify that character. Like bring in 3 or 4 really positive, reaffirming items that you're like, if someone sees this, they're gonna know who it is, and modify it to fit you. Like I did KDA Ari. She is busty and tiny and thin, and I am like 5'9" and thick as F. Okay, I'm gonna say it, thick as fuck. Okay.
Oh, it's a children's show. No, it's not a children's show.
Right. And so KDA Ari was really nerve-wracking for me because I don't have breasts like that. So I had to get 2 cup fillers. I had to get a sticky bra. I had to put inserts just to make it look like I had boobies. This is before I had a successful breastplate. And the whole time, oddly enough, everyone's like, whoa, how did you pad your ass? I'm like, no, this is my butt. Well, they weren't asking about my boobs. They were just like, "How did you pad your butt?" I'm like, "It's
That's real."
That's au natural.
Yeah, like I mean, if you ever watch like some drag queen like transformation videos, I'm like, whoa. If you like fast forward, it's not the same person. Like it's magic. Like they do pure magic, and it's pretty awesome to see how far they go.
And actually, one thing I kind of want to bring up, because I was actually talking to somebody about the show and kind of what we were going to be talking about, and they're like, "Oh, you mean like drag?" In my personal opinion, I just want to say, drag and cosplay are two separate universes that share a combined love of costuming.
Yeah.
Like I've seen drag queens cosplay, and they say that they're cosplaying, but it's not always synonymous.
Yeah. And I love, and I have a huge respect for drag. I've done drag in the past. I've done it once with a friend who actually was in a contest. It was actually called Straight to Drag.
Pixar didn't happen.
Actually, I if I can find one, I'll make sure you get it. I know it's on one of my other computers, but I actually did this whole drag character, and it was 10 to 20 times more elaborate than any other cosplay that I put together. And I have a higher respect for drag because I know what goes into it, and I know how much I've learned from it to be able to do that.
Makeup. Like I'm
a yeah.
And people have shown me how to do makeup, and I'm like, Like I can do this, but that's because of like, oh, it's like drying on my face. But you asked me to do beauty makeup, I'm like, what?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and they do some amazing things with it's just like a canvas, and they know how to paint on it, you know. And but you're right, like they are two different things. They have a lot of things in common. Like I watched a lot of RuPaul's Drag Race when I work on cosplay, because I'm like so inspiring. And they can overlap, as a lot of fandoms can. And sometimes, and I wouldn't say there's any rules to it either. I wouldn't say like, no, that's drag, or no, that's just cosplay. Right. But you can see where drag elements make it more of a drag costume, and then if they're doing straight cosplay, you can see the difference. But I think it's cool. I think it's cool that they could. Who's the one from Drag Race that does a lot of cosplays? There is someone, I can't remember who, but if anyone knows in the chat, I follow them on Instagram. Why is it blanking on me?
Isn't it Fifi?
I think so.
Yeah, because they were actually here this last Comic-Con, actually hosting.
Yeah, that must have been then. Yeah.
Yeah, hosting the drag show.
And you have a lot of cool stuff. Yeah. So, and if you think about what you go through for cosplay and what they go through with drag, you're like, hey, we're in the same family. Like it's all that pain to look like the way you want to look, you know? So yeah, I'm fascinated with drag. I think it's amazing. I think it's so cool. And yeah, I feel like, let's do it. Cosplay more.
Oh yeah. And like one of the big things too, especially like the big thing that I've learned from both, or how to do from both, is actually how to walk in high heels.
Oh, you know what? A lot of women cannot even walk in high heels.
Oh yeah.
And that drives me nuts. I'm like, no, if you can't walk in them, just don't wear them, because it looks so uncomfortable. But yeah, it's a skill, and I wish we didn't have to wear heels sometimes. But I used to love heels, but now I'm like, eh.
Dude, I had to wear stilettos for KDA Ari, and I was like, after 3 hours, I was like, yo guys, I'm out. I'm done.
Yeah.
I don't care. I'll walk barefoot. Yeah. I'll ruin my tights. I don't care.
Yeah, I used to wear heels a lot. Like in my 20s, I used to wear heels all the time, and then I'm like, nah, I'm over it.
I go down barefoot, even outside in the summer, because
that I won't do.
No, well, this past Halloween, I actually impressed a lot of ladies at my job, because I actually wore Diva, and I wore full heels and everything.
Oh, nice!
And I walked through work completely confident, doing, literally just strutting my stuff. And I even had like one of the big bosses in the building come up to me, and she said, "I have to tell you, you walking in heels, you're doing it so much better than I could."
Yeah.
And it made me feel good, because it's something, it is a learned skill that
it is.
I can walk in wedges.
Yeah.
Wedges are fun.
I can walk in platforms. I don't know. Apparently platforms are supposed to be hard to walk in.
Platform, it depends. Like wedges are easier to walk in. Platforms can be easy, but it depends how the platform is made. If they're made properly, then they're fine.
Apparently, people aren't used to like the fact that you can't feel the ground. Well, I already have nerve damage to most of my feet, like both my feet, so like I can't feel the ground anyways.
Yeah.
I have 5-inch platforms that I wear for Hagrid.
Wow.
And those are like you can't feel the ground. Literally, I actually have to walk, like I lift and plant each time. Like
not
like,
rolling.
We should just put you on one of those like little segways and just like Hagrid.
That would be fun. That would be fun.
And then it makes you taller. It'd be great.
Yeah, but like as heels is a learned skill, you're right. Like, you know, I started when I was like in my early 20s, and so I can walk in heels, and I used to do stuff. But you know, people that like, especially men who have never even like were aspiring to wear heels. I don't know. Men that don't want to wear heels. Like, I think it's amazing that you guys try. So, Steven says, Gothic platform boots are not the best to wear if you're using a cosplay. Yeah. Kiss, man. They were all crazy,
like
though.
almost a foot tall, aren't they?
Yeah.
Just about, yeah.
Some of those are like insane. That's a talent.
I'm sorry, if your shoe wears more than your pants and if your shoe wears more than weighs more than your entire outfit, no.
For the love of cosplay.
Yes.
Just put wheels in it and turn yourself into one of those little skateboards that has a remote control and put them in your boots and just, you're good.
Yeah, for sure.
Not enough room in those boots after all, right? I mean, just stick in batteries, it's fine.
Oh yeah.
But like also talking about like crossplay and gender bends, I did one. The very first one I did was Wolfwood from Trigun. And here's the thing: it's like if you see Wolfwood, like, and it was by, you know, a cis man or whatever, and or like a really good cross player, and they look like Wolfwood. Because if you don't know what he looks like, he just basically wears a black suit and like a white shirt, and you'd be like, oh, he looks like Wolfwood, especially since Trigun was huge at that time. But if you saw me, like I was wearing like a black jacket, a white shirt, and a mini skirt, because I was female Wolfwood, you'd be like, who the heck is that?
I'm trying to find your Wolfwood cosplay. I'm trying to look through your
mine. Oh, I don't think you're gonna find it. So I had to carry. I had to make sure that I had his prop, which is the big giant cross that he carries his gun in. Yeah. So I was like, if I didn't have that, I just look like a girl wearing a skirt, like a black jacket. So sometimes when you gender bend, I feel like, and I feel like I would have to find something to make sure people knew who I was.
Accessories, yes.
Yeah, accessories, or I mean, if the costume doesn't tell it, like I said, like Wolfwood is such a simple costume, I would definitely try and figure something out to like make sure people knew who I was. So, yeah, I don't think you're gonna find it, Sam.
I mean, I don't know. I'm not finding it. I tried.
I'll try. I'll see if I can try and find it. Let's see.
Yeah, I'm just like looking through all your photos, going, I'm trying.
It's pretty old. It's a pretty old photo. I might actually have it in my personal. Let's see. But Jared, I want to ask you, like, what decisions do you make when, like, what goes through your mind when you make a decision to cosplay another gender or sex? Like,
I think the first thing that comes to my mind is, will it look good with a beard?
Okay.
Because I mean that's something, because for me, personal choice, I want to keep my beard. I mean, it's not necessarily a religious thing, but it's more of a heritage thing for me, is to have a big old bushy beard, and trust me, you don't want to see me without it. Because you shave this thing, you shave off about 20 years. Trust me.
I want to see you, Jared. I'll paint you green and we'll call you the child.
But one of the things, especially when I was thinking about, Misty, doing a cosplay as Misty with a beard, number one, it's going to get attention. That's the other thing I look for, is what can I do with it to make people look, not just, oh, hey, there's another Misty cosplay. It's like, wait, there's something different. Typically it's the beard, or typically, my belly's hanging out, or, something to make it unique and eye-catching. The third thing I look for is how easy it is to adjust it to my body. Because, I'm not going to, I probably will never do like a Jessica Rabbit red dress, but I could probably do something a little bit, kind of like do a gender swap, where instead of wearing a red dress, I'm wearing a red tux, because I think that in of itself would look better for me. Don't get me wrong, I will probably at some point do a bearded Jessica Rabbit, because I've had a lot of people ask.
Would you like color it red, color your beard red to match the wig or something? Yeah,
totally,
that'd be cool.
Totally.
That'd be cool.
And that's the other thing too is, you know, what accessories can I get to actually help it look more like the character? What wigs can I wear? Can I wear my natural hair? Can I do, you know, do I have to wear heels with it? What specifically am I going to put with it to make people know who it is just by looking? And then I think the last thing that I think of, which is like the furthest thing, is can I strut it? Can I actually
work it and own it?
Can I work it and own it? Because there's a couple of characters, you know, that I probably wouldn't be able to be as big and as boisterous as these ladies are, and I want to do justice to the character.
Just love it, like so.
That was that Game On.
Right? So much.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. That's one of the things that I want to do is, you know, it looks cute because I'm working a cutesy pose. It's doing something that, you know, Diva would do. And it's just one of those fun little adventures that, hey, I don't see too many guys dressed up as Diva or guys dressed up as specific characters. And to represent that, to be that gateway for some people to say, okay, I could do that. Because I've even had, because actually at Saboton this last year, I actually held a panel about what we're talking about, pretty much dressing in a gender outside of your norm. And one of the big things is after that, somebody actually came up to me and said, for about a year now, I've been wanting to cosplay this character who is female, who has, you know, a massive chest, who has a massive butt, but I've never worked up the courage to do it until I talked to you about it.
Nice.
So being that influencer, being that person who flips the switch for somebody, it feels good, because there's not going to be a lot of guys that look like me that are going to be strutting around in a dress at cons. There are some, but not a lot, especially not the smaller conventions.
And, you know, it's like cosplay. So let's like start with cosplay. First of all, it's a huge step out of your comfort zone, unless you're already a costumer or a theater person, right? So for me, I was a theater person. It wasn't too hard, but most people that cosplay do it because they love the anime or the video game or the character, and they want to just take their fandom a step further. So even just like any average person, like stepping out into a costume is already a challenge, right? Like, it's already a challenge. If regardless of what they're wearing, if they're, you know, wearing a really casual outfit, and so then to take it from, you know, one gender to another, and you know, making statements and having like standing out even more, I can't imagine. Like, you know, so that's great. It's baby steps.
It's honestly, you know, getting to a point where you are going to be comfortable with yourself to be able to do that. And for some people, it could take years. It could take a decade before they even step out into the limelight to actually show just a simple costume. But that's where the community aspect comes in. It's like, hey, you know, I see you working on this. This looks awesome. Hey, let's do this in a group so you're not alone. Let's do this as a pair. You know, we don't have to enter any big contest. Let's just walk the floor together. And if you feel like, you know, that it's getting too much, we can step away for a while. We can go back to the hotel room. We can go and sit outside until you're comfortable again.
Yeah, that's cool.
It's baby steps.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, I don't think people should feel pressured as either, like baby steps. Take quickly, do more, you know, do it faster, like move at your own pace. You know what I mean? But just to interrupt here, I finally found not Vincent. I was looking at your comment, Vincent. Well, I'll show you in a second. I finally found Wolfwood. So let me just
Wolfwood. Okay, I'll stop sharing in a second. Give me a second. I guess I technically have already done another, because I mean, this is a crossplay. That's
kind of more of a gender bend, I think. Well, no, because the way you say it is like how Guri ended up. You have a little theme about it. I know you do.
is one of those characters that you're like, he likes to dress up as a girl sometimes to get away with things, and also you're not. He's very androgynous. Gender doesn't matter to Gowry. Whatever, be whatever you want. And the only reason that I'd say that this could be more of a gender bend is just because I could not hide my hips. I'm sorry, in fact, that light. There's no hiding, guys. And where he wears his belt, it's like cinching in my waist. I'm like, great. So, but yeah.
So this was, you can barely see it, but it's basically just a mini skirt and a black jacket, you know? So I had to make sure that I had the cross to, you know, make it like recognizable. And plus I was hanging out with a Vash. So it was like, when I wasn't with the Vash, then it would have been, you know, a lot harder to understand who I was. But let me see. Vincent wants to see my full costume. I'm not wearing my full costume because who does? So I'm going to dig it up while you guys have a chat. I'll dig up a picture here.
So there are things like, there's some people that really like to take it to the extreme for gender bending or cosplaying. And one of the things that I want to tell people is if you're a woman or a man and you have excess on your chest and you want to flatten it out, please buy a professional binder. Do not wrap yourself with duct tape, or don't wear 22 different sports bras in attempts to try and smush yourself. Men and women both have breast tissue that are easily damaged, and damaged tissue leads to cancer. So please, please, please use stuff that's made by professionals that has been approved by doctors.
Cosplay safe and cosplay smart.
And that's a lot to do. That has a lot, like a lot of it. What am I trying to say? That's relevant to a lot of things that you do when you're changing things on your body. Like, just be careful, guys. You only get one body, okay? Unless in the future we turn out to be androids. I don't know. We just get one body.
And if you're doing, if you're wearing, like, if you're male and you want to have female genitals, that is actually completely, you can get those. You get them as underwear. Just be careful because they're usually made out of silicone or silicone rubber. And while they typically have a fabric in them, they can actually cause your own genitals to overheat. So please do some research. Same thing with ladies. If you want to wear a package and you want to have your female, but you'd like to have, you know, your junks, you know, that's totally fine too. But again, if you're wearing stuff over your own skin, just please, if it says you shouldn't wear it for more than 3 to 4 hours, please don't wear it for more than 3 to 4 hours.
Yes. I've seen too many people actually go down on the con floor because of that.
And a lot of it is, even if you're not having a reaction to it, you don't realize that your skin needs to breathe. That's why a lot of our fabric is made out of woven materials. And so when you don't allow yourself to breathe, you're actually technically kind of suffocating your body. And so you'll become overheated or dizzy or nauseous or just really, really exhausted much faster.
Yeah, for sure. Like, and no one needs that. You don't want to end your like con day early because of all that stuff. So for sure. Take care of yourself, guys.
Yes.
Cosplay safely. Okay, so I have
it, but cosplay safely.
Yeah. So I found a full screen picture. I don't know why that took me so long. I'm sorry. I found a full body picture of my diva costume, and so you can see. Wait, am I sharing it?
Not yet. There it is.
Okay. So I did make that pretty much, well, mostly from scratch. The dress part is made from scratch, and then the wrist things, the neck thing. These are Yaya Han ears.
I stamped all the fabric, guys, okay? I was a judge. She went through it and hand stamped the fabric.
I designed a stamp and then I stamped it with acrylic paint. So that did take a long time. And I actually commissioned.
Imagine just going through each individual row and measuring it. I mean, it was so precise.
Yeah. And I actually had to do it after I made it because I wanted to make this. So they released the skin on Tuesday, and then that Saturday was Tempe LibCon, and I made it in time for Tempe LibCon. So I did not stamp it until after I made it, which was even harder. But when I did do a commission, I did stamp it before. Obviously, that's what you want to do. So, but yeah, that is my Black Hat Diva. I actually don't know if I'm ever going to wear it again. I'm kind of thinking I might, I don't know, sell it or something. But yeah. So, yep. Sorry I couldn't stand up and show you because I'm only diva up to my waist. As is with all Zoom meetings these days.
Oh, yeah.
If we have any questions, we'll give people a chance to ask some questions because we've been doing a lot of talking, and I can't believe it's already almost been 45 minutes.
Yeah. So yeah, you guys can ask anything too. It doesn't have to be on the subject. You can ask, obviously, because we have our guest here, Jared. Jared, you're welcome to ask him anything, and he's welcome to answer whatever he wants. Or you can ask us questions as well. So we do this every Friday. Right, Sam? We do this every Friday, as of now, 6:30 p.m. Pacific, which is the same as Arizona Mountain. What's our subject next week?
Foam smithing.
Foam smithing. Awesome. Yeah. So, Jared, while we're waiting for questions, where can we find you on the internet?
Of course, Instagram is going to be my big place for anything costuming, and actually really anything in my life. Hagrid Cosplay. If you just look at the little title card right there, or just put the @ sign in front of it, you'll be able to find me. Facebook. I actually have my own Facebook page, Hagrid Cosplay as well. But I also do a different podcast as well. I just kind of want to push this out there a little bit. So. Little background on me, and this is something that I put out there to just about anybody I actually talk to. I am a witch. I am a practicing witch, Wiccan, whatever you want to call it. I actually have a podcast with a dear friend of mine who we actually talk about excuse me. It's called Millennial Pagan Podcast. It's kind of a great introduction if you want to learn a little bit more about it. But it's pretty much we just talk about our love of everything, witchy, and even I talk about geek stuff on there too, and how to make it into your daily practice. But yeah, that's pretty much me in a nutshell.
Nice. And so how do you feel about how like media depicts it, like in mainstream and in like our geeky culture?
So I'll say this: geeky culture gets it right. They get it a lot. They get it a lot better. Mainstream media, because it's something a lot of people don't really understand, they seem to depict it in a negative light, a negative influence. And really, all it really is at least what I see it as, it's using a different means to help myself, help the planet, and help those around me. It's not, sacrificing goats to Bast or to Baphomet or anything like that. For me, it's just taking the magic that's within me to help other people and to help the planet that we live on.
Nice. Yeah. Well, thank you for sharing that. We do have a couple of comments. Vincent says, best divas are Academy Diva and Black Cat Divas. So here we go, Jared. We got best cosplays. Yes. And Steve, thank you. You're invited by Amber. Amber's a really good friend of ours, Amber Bright Props. She was a guest and will be another guest at some point, I'm sure. So thank you guys for tuning in if this is your first time. We're all still fairly new to this. So forgive us if you've, seen us in the past and we're still trying. I think we finally got a system, Sam. I think. We finally have a system.
Like the one that I found.
Yeah, it's working so far, except for the whole like Twitch thing, but that could be Twitch and OBS's problem. And we are trying to start. I do have a Twitch page up. We haven't streamed to it because we've had so many problems. But yeah, you can find us also CosTalk Live pretty much everywhere. Twitch, Facebook, Instagram. We do have a TikTok that I don't know what we're doing with it yet. And then Sam, also you stream on your personal YouTube, right? So I don't know if we're going to open another YouTube or not because
if we can just keep. I already have like a personal YouTube channel and I've been building it for years with tutorials, and I don't mind putting like a special CosTalk Live like kind of playlist there. So if you guys want to keep looking at it, it's basically all the streams are from CosTalk Live.
Nice, yeah. Cool.
Yeah, and I do have to say, just kind of being on the ground level of this. I mean, I even told you, Jinx. I was thinking about starting a podcast about cosplay and that type of stuff, and I love the way that you guys are taking care of this. I mean, from a seasoned podcaster, you guys you're doing awesome, and you're doing it right, which is
thank you,
which is awesome.
Yeah. We got a stamp of approval.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely keep it up, and and I know you guys are gonna blow it out of the water.
Awesome. Yeah. And we love having our friends on and even people that we, new people that we've met. And so we'd love to have you on again. If you have if anybody thinks of anyone they would like to see on the show, we'd love to hear from you guys.
That's what a growing list happening.
Because that's what the cosplay community is about, is, we gotta share and learn from everybody. That's one thing that I love about the cosplay community, and I hope that never dies, is that there is no Cosplay 101 class. You cannot go to university. We learned it all from somebody else or somebody, and that's kind of how we all get better.
That's actually a good thing. So, okay. All right, Jared, Cosplay 101 for Rule 63 as a guy. Go. What do they need?
What you need, an idea, and just the ability to make it happen. Honestly, it's just as simple as that. You don't have to go out and buy some big extravagant cosplay. You don't really have to have it commissioned. Look for what you have in your closet first, because honestly, that's where it's going to start. And the other big thing, Goodwill, stores. Find someplace local that already has something that you could get. And then the last part of the 101 is straight stuff. Yeah. Make them look. That's
if you're gonna do it, like, go out with a bang, right?
Yeah.
Like, don't hide in the corners.
Yeah, because if your intention is to have people see what you look like in this costume, make them look. Don't hide it in the shadows. I mean, yeah, it could take some time before you get there, but that's going to be your introduction into the cosplay world, especially cosplaying outside of your. Make them look.
Right.
Because somebody that looks might want to do something in the future, and you inspired them.
That's true. I think it's great. I've been inspired by so many cosplayers, and I think that's a great thing about the community. It shouldn't be competitive, like, oh, she did it better. It's like, no, like, oh, wow, her costume is so good. I want to make mine. I want to improve my skill. And that's what it should be. Not like, I'm going to make it better than her. No, because you're only really competing with yourself. That person doesn't care. Like, there's no prize between the two of you, unless you're really in a competition. That's a whole nother story. But as a hobby, yeah, you only really have your own self to improve over. So I want to ask you, Jared, what is your favorite cosplay? I mean, this is a common question. What's your favorite cosplay?
My favorite cosplay, actually, there's two of them. Of course, Hagrid is definitely my number one, but outside of that realm, right now, I'd have to say it's actually my Totoro onesie.
I don't think I've ever seen that.
I wore it for a little bit at Sabotin, I think last year. I'm pretty sure it's on my Instagram. Look for Wonder Woman, because I should be standing right next to Wonder Woman. Because that's Sunshine. That was one of her first foyers into cosplay as well. Nice.
So you would say, like, your signature cosplay is Hagrid.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, that's what I'm most noted for, and it's actually on my cosplay business card. Nice. But that's what most people know me as, and it's far something that I've done with passion, and I've done with a want to actually expand on it a little bit more. Kind of just creating a magic moment for little wizards and witches that are out there. Because actually what I do with Hagrid as well is I actually have a sniffler that one of my friends actually made, and has a little belly pocket, and I actually put some gold, fake gold coins in there, and I go digging and pull one out and say it was from Gringotts, and I give it to kids and tell them to start their wizarding fund.
That's so cute.
It's making a magic moment for kids.
That's amazing. Like, because I do Moana too, so I totally understand. It's like, I know there's some cosplayers that just cosplay because they want to. Of course, I work in the princess party industry as well, so even when I'm cosplaying, I fall into that whole, like, oh my god, it's Moana. Yes, I am. Hi, how are you? So I think that's cool if you can add that little extra, on top of a cosplay that you love. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I love. You know what I love? I love no face cosplayers. I will never get tired of no face cosplayers giving me coins. I will never get tired of it. I think it's the cutest thing.
My favorite no face was actually Adam Savage. This year he actually made one with the articulated mouth. Oh man, it's amazing. I actually watched his tutorial on it yesterday. I was just thinking, you know, I wanna do something like that, just something simple but something big.
Right. So. Well, because No Face it is a simple costume. Like I made a No Face costume on the fly for my cousin, but it was like a bed sheet, and I made like a foam mask, and so it's something that's simple like that. If you can take it to the next level, like amazing. So for sure, yeah. So Steve, what we got going on here? Sending you and just doing like a little here. Okay, so kind of like sharing visitors cosplay.
So we don't do that right now. We're trying to build our own brand. But if you want to post comments to our like we do post like regularly to the page itself. And if you want to do that, that's great. Now, if you want to share your cosplay photos, I've mentioned this before. This is not the venue for it at the moment. It might be in the future, but we're still trying to grow. Fangirl Nation magazine, I write for them. I am the managing editor. I am looking for cosplayers to feature. If you would like to be featured, please message the Facebook page on Fangirl Nation magazine, and I will get back to you within 24 to 48 hours.
And if you know what, I mean, if you message CosTalk Live, Sam will get it if you can't find him. But Fangirl Nation, yeah, definitely. That's how I met Sam. So
I met a lot of people.
yeah. So any last questions, guys? If you have any, we're gonna ask Jared, what is your next cosplay?
So next cosplay
set. I know.
I got a couple. I got two of them that I'm working on right now. I'm doing a Dr. Facilier and a Gaston because I have an idea. I have an idea that I want to do. So there's a song from The Greatest Showman called "The Other Side." Well, who better to talk about the other side than Dr. Facilier?
Yeah.
So I'm actually creating and reworking the lyrics, and hopefully I'll be recording it pretty soon and putting it up on hopefully on YouTube. It's going to kind of be the first in a line of cosplay stuff to do. And actually, I just found.
You used to hire for your music video because you're going to make a music video. Pros and cons.
Oh
awesome. Yeah, they would make such a cool music video out of that. That'd be awesome.
All right, let me see here. Let me see if I can share. Because I actually just found my my Totoro, actually with
I have a Totoro onesie too. I guess we're very in line, Jared.
We are.
Cosplay closets, like but where's your Widowmaker?
That's actually one that I have been thinking about. I actually want to do kind of with Widowmaker, but I'm not sure which costume yet.
Maybe like her what is it, the Swan Lake ones?
Probably, that's what I was thinking.
That would be
here
fun.
We go. Let me see if it'll allow me to share here. There we go.
Ooh.
It's just a little bit, but that's with Ivy Doom Kitty.
Oh, cute.
Yeah. And actually made a headband with ears and a little leaf.
That is adorable. I've always wanted, and I've seen it because that's kind of like what I'm not sure I want to copy, but I've seen a really cute Lolita Totoro out there with like the little umbrella leaf. That's something I would love to do. So yeah. Well, I think we're about ready to wrap up. Was there anything else you wanted to say, Sam?
Jared's awesome, and go freaking follow him.
Yeah. We hope to have you on board again, in the future.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously,
definitely. I'm on board. I'm on board. I love what you guys are doing with this, and thank you for having me, and of course just being some awesome, great friends and being just awesome people, just in general.
Thank you so much. And we obviously thank the community. We thank you guys for tuning in. Like I said, every Friday, and Sam's got the event schedules up on our Facebook page, CosTalk Live. You'll find us there.
We'll be scheduling more soon, especially now that I honestly think that StreamYard is going to be pretty good for us.
I think we're good. Yeah, I think we're good on this.
But what we'll do is we only have one more scheduled, but I plan on actually scheduling 4 at a time. So you'll see 4 more pop up this weekend. Once we've agreed on themes, because I may have sent the group of people that help us run CosTalk Live with like a 50 list. Like there's a Google Doc of all my ideas.
She's gonna schedule for the whole year, guys.
So if you guys have ideas, if you really have a stream idea and you're like, hey, I haven't heard anyone talk about this, just either post it on our page or message us.
Yeah, we love to hear from you guys, and we want to touch on everything that you want to hear, and we're down for it. All right.
So, we're at that hour marker, which is amazing. We're actually wrapping up on time because there was no technical difficulty.
I know. We started pretty much on time. And
So everybody stay safe, stay happy, and if you're looking for a convention to go to, St. Louis Online Cosplay Con. It runs next weekend, May 16th from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. CST, which is 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Arizona time. It's completely free. And they are still looking for people to compete in their masquerade. TNT Cosplay Supply is also doing a competition. So there are some things out there. If you guys want to compete and you're desperate, they exist online right now.
Yeah. Stay home.
All right, this is Hagrid, ThermoCosplay and Jinx Cosplay, wishing you all good night. Thank you, guys.
Bye, guys.
Bye.